natural. I'd like to share with you a wonderful thought based on this week's Torah portion, Parshat-Tetzaveh. In it there are over 40 verses which describe how the garments of the priest. Now there are two different types of priests. There was a high priest, the head priest, and the ordinary priest. The ordinary priest wore 4 garments, but very simple, dignified, beautiful. The high priest actually had very elaborate, very elaborate, complicated actually in certain ways, and very colorful. And they were beautiful, as the Chumash itself says, l'chavod u'lesafaris. It was for splendor and for honor. One of those 4 garments was a me'il. It was a long robe, a cloak. It was made out of sky blue, and there were no sleeves. He would slip it over his head. It would be noticeable down from below, looking through a fold. And on the bottom of the robe were some very beautiful ornaments hanging from the hem, pomegranates and little gold bells. And actually, when the high priest would be walking in the temple, you could actually hear the tinkling of the bells. Everything that is described in the Chumash can and should teach us a lesson. So the Midrash comments that Rabbi Yochanan said, from here we learn derech eretz, just the proper way of conduct. And that is that when you're walking, don't surprise people. Let them know that you're coming. And this is true even by good friends. Sometimes people take for granted, you open up the door, hi, I'm home, or hi, I'm visiting. And occasionally it could be very awkward because the person was not expecting. But if we would remember what the high priest would do, even in the home of God, the sanctuary, when he was walking in the holy areas, there was a notice, there was an announcement, I am walking, I am coming. People could hear him. And the Shekhinah, the divine presence itself, was being informed that the high priest was walking. So for one very practical lesson, as the Gemara tells us, Rabbi Yochanan, before he would visit his best friend or a very good friend, he would knock on the door, and that's a very good habit to get into. Knock before you enter, even if you are comfortable being there. But I'd like to add one more insight from the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and that is, when we think about spirituality, one of the images that comes to mind is silence, serenity, tranquility, the opposite of noise. And we would say to ourselves, in the holy temple, why would Hashem allow for tinkling of bells? I mean, it should be very serene. Here's a high priest, and he's serving God. Why make noise while he's walking? And the Rebbe points out that this might be a lesson to us today. It is important at times to make noise for God, to bring people's attention and direct them to where they should be directed. We live in a very noisy world. Everyone is clamoring for your attention, whether it be the billboards, whether it be the radio, whether it be advertising. How can we attract them to our own beautiful traditions, Yiddishkeit? There are times when you should make noise for that as well. And indeed, Chabad is known for this all over the world. They take an RV and they will decorate it with beautiful pictures, and they will go in the very public place and call attention. This is a Jewish area. This is a Jewish RV. And then very often they'll even have Jewish music blaring from the top, from a loudspeaker, almost as if to imply the noise of Kedusha, of holiness, should counteract the noise, the clamor of unholiness. Let's hope and pray that the noise of our prayers, the noise of our good mitzvahs, the noise of the clanking of coins into a charity box, that noise will turn into the sweet music of hearing the arrival of Mashiach Tzidkenu, the righteous Mashiach. May it come speedily in our days. Amen. Have a wonderful Shabbat.